At least 4 people are dead after a bomb ripped through a Sunday mass at a university in the Philippines. Officials say around 50 people were taken to the hospital. Several are fighting for their lives. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack in southern Philippines. Military officials say the attack could have been retaliation for airstrikes that killed 11 suspected Islamic militants. And joining us now is Clare Lopez, founder and president of Lopez Liberty LLC. Clare, good to have you back on. As mentioned, the terror group ISIS has taken responsibility for this horrific attack. What more can you tell us about the Islamic State and its presence in the Philippines, a predominantly Catholic country?
Well, I would note that across the world, it seems since the Shabbat massacre of October the 7th, that the forces of Islamic Jihad seem to be emboldened. There were knife attacks in Ireland, knifing attacks in New York City, and this horrific bombing at the Mass yesterday in the Philippines. And so I think that the forces of Islamic Jihad somehow find the example of the Hamas massacre, the Hamas attack against Israel, to be somehow inspiring for them. Islamic State, of course, now found in places all over the world. It's no longer just Islamic State in Iraq and al-Sham, or ISIS as it used to be, but Islamic State worldwide.
Clare, Bishop de la Pena of Marawi, where that bombing took place, said the attack, in part quote of it, he said, "They hit us in the heart, that is during the Eucharist, the highest moment of our faith." Clare, talk to us about the motivation behind this attack and the psychological impact of carrying it out during Mass, our most sacred time of worship as Catholics.
You know, it's really hard for those of us, looking at this, who are so far removed from any of this kind of Islamic jihadist ideology, hard for us to understand how fellow human beings could behave like this and carry out attacks like this. The same thing with the October 7th Shabbat massacre. How could human beings possibly do this? It's hard for us to understand, but if we're going to confront and we're going to defeat the forces of Islamic Jihad, we have to get inside of their heads and realize the absolute depravity of the evil inside of these jihadis that attacked this Mass at the Eucharist, as you said just yesterday.
Yeah, it is really unconscionable. Clare, I want to pivot now to the Middle East and the drone and missile attacks by the Houthi rebels on commercial ships and the USS Carney, that warship in the Red Sea. What more can you tell us about that, and what do you think all this signals?
Well, once again, I think that the forces of Islamic Jihad and in the Middle East were specifically talking about those proxy Islamic Jihad forces like Hamas, like Palestinian Islamic Jihad also in Gaza, like Hezbollah, like the Hashd-e-Shaabi Shiite militias in Iraq, and others attacking in those areas Americans on bases in those places. I think they all have found a kind of emboldening, directed by, encouraged by the Iranian regime, which arms, funds, trains all of them. And that is what we're seeing with these Houthis. Ansar al-Sharia is their actual name of this group, operating out of Yemen. And until the United States, and Israel probably too, takes action to seriously strike back at the head of the Hydra, at the Iranian regime, the Islamic Republic of Iran, these proxies are going to continue to feel emboldened.
All right, Clare, we're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much for your insights. We always appreciate it.
Thank you.